Willow Creek Springs presents Healthy Living with your host, Joe Grumbine.
Okay.
Well, hello, and welcome back to the Healthy Living Podcast. Today we have Dr. Robert Hoffman with us again, and this time today he is in Japan. And why don't you give us a quick rundown what's going on in Japan?
Okay, Joe. Well, the most important, I met with Dr. Toshihiko Sato last evening, and he has the only MedPET clinic in the world that does whole body MedPET imaging.
Wow.
And he uses the MedPET to determine which patients will be most responsive to methionase. And he's so innovative and great. And he expressed an interest to be on our Zoom call.
Wonderful.
So I'm hoping we'll get him on at least sometimes. Of course, he's very busy. He just published a great book on methionine addiction and restriction of cancer. So it's going around the whole Japan. So it was a great meeting.
Wonderful.
So that's the main point so far.
Wow, that is fantastic. You know, it's so wild as I going through this cadre of doctors. I'm talking to, more doctors than I've ever talked to since I was a kid. You know, my dad was a surgeon, so I knew a lot of doctors. But every time I mention methionine and methionase, you just watch their eyes kind of glaze over. Nobody recognizes what I'm saying. And
Joe, everybody's got to read Thomas Kuhn's book.
Yes.
The Structure of Scientific Revolution and what it takes to have a paradigm shift.
Absolutely.
So these guys are all stuck in the old paradigm.
Yes, agreed. Well, I'm
the old paradigm of the Warburg effect. Everything is about glucose.
Right.
And it really isn't. It's all about methionine. So this paradigm shift takes a long time. It's kind of started in 1959. It's only 65 years ago. But Kuhn's book explains all what must happen in the paradigm shift. And Kuhn would say, so would Max Planck, one of the greatest scientists ever, that science advances one funeral at a time. So these paradigm leaders basically have to die before the new paradigm can be shifted. So these guys who just glaze over when they hear methionine are just stuck in the old paradigm. And when you read Kuhn's book, which is really a classic, Kuhn, K-U-H-N, Thomas, it's one of the greatest science books ever read, and it's meant for the general audience, can understand what's going on by reading that.
Absolutely. I've ordered it. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
You will. You got plenty of time to do it. Probably get a $3 copy on Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you know what? I'm carrying this message. I seen the literature. I'm living it. I'm listening to all these people that have experienced it, and I'm bringing it everywhere I go. And I know that more people will know because of my experience. So this has been a really big week. Since we last spoke on Tuesday, I received a call from UCI, and they had approved my treatment. And
insurance is approved.
Yeah, they approved it. So Tuesday about noon, they called me up and says, we need to get you in for some blood work and an EKG prior to the port install. And I said, all right. And I literally, me and my wife, we left within an hour, went down there. I took care of that. And then I had yesterday was Wednesday. I had a consult with the medical oncologist, and she reviewed basically all the protocols, what to expect. I'm all excited. Everything's good. This morning, I had a tele interview with sorry, my brain's a little fried right now. Integrative oncologist from UCI. And I went through her whole experience, or my whole experience, what brought me from there to here, it turns out she knows Emil and Dr. Exime, and she also knows Dr. Castro. And she seemed to be very, very in line with what I was saying. She said she wasn't sure about the whole methionine thing, but I said, you know, and I told her about fasting and all of that, and she supported what I'm doing. So she wasn't opposed to it. She said she didn't know. I said, you know, look this literature up. I said, go to PubMed and look it up. There's lots of science that backs it up. So maybe I've got one person to consider it. She seemed to at least be open. And then today I went to go see Dr. Castro, and he was a little disheartened because I haven't moved forward yet. And I explained to him how hard I've been working and all of the things I've done and the obstacles that have been in the way, but we're powering through. And, you know, he just wants to see this thing happen. And he told me that with the lab work he did, that I showed that I was zinc deficient. And he said
I'm
that
sorry. Say again. I didn't catch that last
he
few
said that
words. Say again,
I was
please.
zinc deficient, the mineral zinc. Did you catch it? Zinc. Are you hearing me?
I hear you, but I don't catch. What did Dr. Castro say?
He said I was deficient in zinc, the mineral zinc.
You're deficient in zinc. Okay.
And he said that the zinc affects one of the switches that cause the immune system to recognize the tumor. And he said he ordered a supplement that's going to help to fix that. He also said
Okay.
there was some kind of issue with methylation and that my genetic expression was doing something that was in the way. And he said that there was some kind of a folate supplement that I needed to get as well. He's going to do more work on that. But meanwhile, he liked the idea of what we were going, and he was excited. Well, on the way home from this trip, I'm supposed to schedule get my port tomorrow and start chemo on Monday. I was excited. I was just like, here we go. We're ready to go. I had everything cleared, consent, everything done. And then on the way home, I get a call from UCI. They said somehow the insurance sent the wrong code, or somehow it's not cleared right now. And so they've submitted an urgent request to get it changed, but right now everything's back on hold.
I'm sure they'll. Have you told the medical oncologist this?
I just literally just got home from this trip. So
Okay, so you call her and tell her to straighten it out.
oh, I am. Absolutely. That's my next move. So
She'll straighten it out.
yeah. So anyways, it was like everything was going great. I'm all excited. Everything's great. And then wham.
Just a little bump in the road, Joe.
Yeah,
Just a bump in the
we'll
road.
get there. We'll get there. So you know, I feel like I'm right there. I've been fasting hard, and I was planning on breaking fast today, and then I was gonna go the next 2 days prior to the chemo treatment. So now we'll see what happens, but I'm gonna just stay in my fast.
Okay, not too many days fasting. You don't want all that muscle protein breaking down and just flooding you with methionine.
No, I'm not. I'm cycling in and out. I'm not letting it go too long.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm on this really, really well. As soon as I taste the ketosis, I take a little green juice and I switch myself back, eat a little something, and then I let it go back again. So I feel like I'm strong, and I'm doing that Hominex as well as a supplement.
Yeah, the Hominex is wonderful.
Yeah, I really like it. I feel like it's helping carry me from one meal to the next, and I know I got no methionine in me while I'm doing it. And I've actually doubled up the methionase, and I've got a new batch that should be here tomorrow. So I got just enough to get me through till tomorrow.
Okay, I think, did you get the new methionase package?
It should be here tomorrow.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So everything looks like we're on track. It's just getting
You're on track. Little speed bump with the insurance. Tell your medical oncologist, please, to straighten this damn thing out immediately.
Absolutely.
It's in her interest too to get started.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's okay.
So anyways,
Small little glitch.
I think we'll run a short show today because you're on the road and I don't know, it's probably 2 o'clock in the morning over there.
No, it's 10 in the morning. It's already
Oh,
tomorrow. I'm
wow.
okay. It's a little hard to hear because of the
Okay.
road noise, but I think
Yeah.
we're going to stop in a couple minutes. So,
Okay.
but anyway, we're hanging in there.
All
Um,
right. Well, the one
if
thing
you have more things to want to talk about, I'm okay.
I just wanted to go over this one thing. I look at my situation, and there's two things that really brought me to this difficult spot. One was waiting too long. When I noticed that I had this lump on my neck, I always believed my body would just heal itself. And I'm not a guy that's gonna, be a hypochondriac or get a little bump and go run to the doctor. But in this case, I should have. And had I caught this a year
Joe,
ago,
it's okay. It's okay. You're still in time.
oh yeah, oh yeah. But I'm just saying the advice to somebody who might notice something out of sorts, not like I slipped and twisted
Joe,
my ankle, but
let me give you a little experience.
okay.
I'll share with you. This is about when I was teenager, maybe about 65 or years ago. My mother had a brother, very uh, brilliant guy, great athlete, and he kept coughing. And he would go to lived in Boston. He went to the Massachusetts General Hospital, and the doctor shined him off, and he died of throat cancer. So,
Wow.
I agree with you. It's not cool to be a hypochondriac, but when you feel your body somehow out of sorts, um, uh, you need to check it. Um, it, and feeling it might be cancer, then you got to get the doctor to rule it out. Um, my uncle died needlessly, because the doctors kept shining him off, and they shouldn't have. They should have had to rule it out. Rule it out. Of course, that was a way long time ago. Imaging is not like it nearly like it is now and stuff like that. But it's a good thing for people to know. You're not a hypochondriac if you feel you're out of sorts. Find out what it is. And if the doctor doesn't give you satisfaction, go to another one.
Yeah, that's the second part
So
to this.
you got signed off. The doc said you don't have cancer. It very reminiscent of my mother's brother. But you kept hanging in there
Right.
and got the right diagnosis.
Yeah, I think that there was just, I started listening to my body, and that was once I did that, I think everything changed, and I realized, that in all of these doctors that I've spoken with, they all have some good information and some poor information. And I realized that I have had to become the expert in my cancer. And I know that as of
And
this
Joe,
moment,
that goes for every patient.
I
Every
agree.
patient has their own responsibility to become their own expert. No doctor
Yeah.
knows everything. Far from it.
Agreed. That's really what I wanted to get to, because I've put more effort in the last 6 months into solving this problem than anything else I've done in my life. And I feel like the learning curve has been dramatic. I feel like I have a grasp on where I'm at and why I'm here and where I'm going and how I'm going to get there. I still don't know all the little details of switches and names of everything, but the idea of how it works and what's happening, I feel that um, now, when a doctor tells me something that doesn't seem right, I have a body of knowledge that I can put it up against and weigh it against. And I also have this group that I can bring it to and bounce it around and see what everybody else thinks. And I think that that's critical. I think if somebody I think a lot of people, they go in, they get a diagnosis, and it freaks them out. They just do whatever the doctor says. and they don't bother to try to understand it themselves. And I think,
I mean, that's the old, again, we're talking about the old paradigm.
yeah,
The doctor is God.
right,
And that's a wrong paradigm. Nobody's God. And,
exactly.
so that's the old paradigm. The new paradigm is cancer patient is responsible for him or herself. And if you want the best outcome, you got to just be so dedicated to learn everything you can.
That's exactly my advice. If you find yourself diagnosed with cancer or any major disease, that needs to become your life, is figuring it out, learning what you need.
Well, your life depends on it.
It does, 100%, 100%. Well, Robert, I am just so pleased that I stumbled into your world and that we're working together like this. I believe this.
We sure are. And I'm so glad we stumbled together in each other's world. With a lot that contribute to each other, and we're making unbelievably good progress.
I agree. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing you again on Sunday's call. And
I'll be here on Sunday. It'll be Monday for me, and I'll be going home that same day. So
all right.
Anyway, so we're good, Joe, and I'm really pleased that Dr. Castro found that zinc deficiency. Get you up on that. That's great.
Yeah, yeah, and he's ordered the genetic work, so that's all in progress now.
Okay, we'll be talking about that too.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
You're welcome, Joe.
All right.
Okay.
We'll see you next time.
This has been another episode of the Healthy Living Podcast. We produce this show so that people can share their stories, people that have overcome obstacles, people that are undergoing obstacles. We're building a community of health-minded individuals. If you're interested in supporting the show, please leave a review on the platform you're listening to it on. If you're interested in becoming a guest, please send an email to itsjoegrumbine@gmail.com, or you can send a note into the notes section of the podcast. All right. Well, thank you for supporting this show, and we hope you've enjoyed it.